They killed, give me Isaiah 14 and 21. They did the same thing to my people. So you said that they put millions of my people. Should a murderer go to jail for murdering? Absolutely. Should a thief go to jail when he steals? Absolutely. Should a robber pay back the money he robbed? Absolutely. So why shouldn't the white man pay for what he did? That's right. That's right.
One day you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog.
I'm in a hell of a hole, was never expected to grow. Just obstacles set in the road, that a result of me selling my soul. The story I'm telling is cold, but yet it's what everyone knows. The white man's the devil is known. America was never our home, only a place of captivity, saved facility, hating, disfigure me. They claim that I'm lazy, be killing me. Maybe this slavery draining my energy. 400 years and counting, the trail of my tears is countless. Main fact that I'm here is astounding, but I can't wait till this shit is surrounded. Ready to tangle my king and the angel, be ready to rap. Cracking the sky, nuclear missiles and make it official. I'm capturing every cracker surviving. Put them all in chains where they need to be, slavery for me. And let the whole world see that with them in the cage and safer in the streets. Put the dog on a leash, get resolved for the beast. 144, get the ruler show, we could all be at peace. As soon as the trumpets are sound, your kingdom we busting it down. The only way justice is found, the time for your judgment is now.
You'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog.
Look, ain't no remorse in my blood slim. It won't be no compromise. Now it's time to feed the worms. Watch his body turn to flies. I clutch iron while you trust the lies. The next Glock I buy gon' be Gen 5. I get it customized. And sending shots off like farewell. Praying payback come back around like a carousel. Still remember Yahanna's words ringing in my head like bells. Said you in this body, you fit the Lord, fuck the cocktail. Triangle choke, apply pressure to the game like I did Vondale. Payback's a bitch in a dress, she a bombshell. Revenge is served cold, I just hope they make an oxtail. Glock fresh out the box, I swear it got that new car smell. Made myself a target in a world of mad shooters. There was design 5 for our babies to pass through. And the day of our king's reign, I'll be overzealous. They bought my jealous, I bought brand new parabellums.
Someday you'll see just how it feels. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog. Payback is a dog. It's a dog.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isubk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're
One Westworld.
Right. Everything is lawful. Westworld.
The pressure on. I remember bringing nothing home. Make it little just to make it known. Steady, ready, better watch your tone. When I was 5'7", I was breaking bones. 5'7", now I want the crown. when I was in my zone. Lose the argument or lose your dome. Keep cool, ain't no running up. Damn, now I'm coming up. They coming to kiss me, you dumb or what? You drawn, you done enough. They told me don't rush it, just wait my time. Paying attention, I see the signs. Coming right to me like Amazon. No time for distractions, I'm on the grind. Little shorty, your ticket, she know she fine. Got a couple of so never mind. They throwing the shade cause they know I shine. Reason I'm going in overtime. You stuck in your ways, you keep fantasizing. I just go get it, don't think about it. Don't make it an issue, it ain't a problem. Not too much talking, just organizing. One Westward, no way around it. Heavy, so you know I'm grounded. Too sturdy, I'm well rounded. Tunnel vision, I don't see a challenge. Get a minute, I'm killing it. Case closed, I don't need a gavel. Know you hate it, don't even matter. New page, still the same time.
Mike, but just never forget that I do not. Always have that fresh in your mind. That I feel absolutely nothing for your pain and your problem. Because I know that all of your pain and problems are a test to make you stronger.
I live in a world where we coincide. If you're not ready to stay inside, you drowning away, or you gonna ride. You stick to the end, you get glorified.
Seeing if you're gonna step up into what's world, you're gonna run.
You stick to the end, you get glorified. Let's make it official, I'm one of them. One of the greatest, is no exempt. It took me a minute to figure it out. I was struggling, and it made a man. I shuffled the deck and I played my hand. Just give me a reason to put them on you. Didn't believe that I had me a vision. Should I believe that you niggas loyal? We giving up game, they fumbling plays. I'm tired of talking, I'm racked out. Before that we started, they tapped out. I jumped in my duffel and blacked out. What you witnessing is elevation. Glory road to my destination. The haters, it's a celebration. And I put that on my reputation. When the fall, this a demonstration. Get sick and I know they hate it. One Westworld every season. Hot boy, this dedication. I'm giving game, I don't need favors. Go against us, you gon' see the danger. You ain't family, you a damn stranger. I'll beat your ass, I don't need a baby. I don't got time for excuses. I'm plotting on making the killer. I'm getting the feeling, they know that I'm coming, I'm running. Let's get to the business. I'm still playing my post. Taking the rim like diesel. Don't run with too many people. I don't feel none of us equal. None of us equal.
And there are some brothers and sisters that know that so much, they would never leave you. They would never abandon you. Since you have to stay alive here, they'll stay alive with you.
I live in a world where we coincide. If you're not ready to stay inside, you drowning away, or you gonna ride. You stick to the end, you get glorified. You stick to the end, you get glorified.
They're one West.
Dear hater, you for real hater? Must not be on like you say, must not be getting no real paper. One West, nigga. Dear hater, you for real hater? Must not be on like you say, must not be getting no real paper. Nigga can't have more than you, you know them niggas will still hate you. Those are characteristics in a pussy nigga nature. Talk that shit behind my back, but be on mute when it's a facial. Smiling in my face, but you can't hide all of that hatred. I'm too silent, you a snake. I see that shit a mile away. Man of war, and I'm not sorry. Blame that shit on you, PK. Pussy ass nigga, you a pussy ass nigga. Oh, you confused, you think pussy ass nigga. This ain't drag racing, why you got that drag Lost Tribe.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isubk.com and pay your tithe. Drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're
we vibe, we lay, you purple, you gay, your leech ass, lil' fame, I'm on war, got the same, for wrong. For wrong, DP. For wrong. I try to tell these motherfuckers time and time, nigga. For wrong. Pussy ass, purple ass niggas, man. For wrong. Get your born ass right. Niggas better get their weight up, you little body bitch. Worry about a damn pay cut, you little body bitch. I ain't worried about none of these niggas, little body bitch. You damn scared rag, coward ass little body bitch. Had to fuck around, get my rank up, you little body bitch. And I'm pouring up, yeah, young nigga, and I'ma take a sip. Yeah, all these niggas want down hate, but tell them zip it lip. Cause you a dumb ass, scared ass boy, little body bitch. Damn, and I ain't worried about nothing, nigga, nah, I ain't worried about shit. I got more than one, so you know, nigga, don't reminisce. I spit flavors on these damn beats, niggas better catch a pitch. Never knew a goddamn man be scared to represent. When you a whole ass, dirt ass, little damn body ass nigga. Get body with it damn scripture with your little body ass nigga. Nigga, I'm a true priest, true lion, nigga, true Zion ass nigga. And you a little boy, a little bitch ass, little body ass nigga. I got big rank, you mad, get stained, work hard, then play, bad bitch, my taste. We vibe, we lay, you purple, you gay, your leech ass, lil' fame, I won't war, got the same, for wrong. For wrong, yeah. For wrong. I tell you, for wrong. You get your shit together, for wrong. Work it. I'ma do this shit till I rock it, you little body bitch. I'ma judge your ass like your pot, you little body bitch. And I'm smooth with it, y'all the zock, you little body bitch. And I switch, ain't gon' know your thought, little body bitch. And I'ma stay turning like the cars, you little body bitch. And I'm so cold like a bond, you little body bitch. And I'm a war like that bar, you little body bitch. And my aim like not a zock, you little body bitch. Need a princess part bar, little body bitch. Or anyone down the slide, you little body bitch. Yeah. I keep a couple straps in my ride, you little body bitch. Just in case anyone wanna die, cause I'm body bitch. I got be right, you mad, get stained, work hard, then play, bad bitch, my taste. We vibe, we lay, we purple, we gay, your leech ass, lil' fame, I won't war, not same. For wrong. For wrong.
Hey, listen, brothers and sisters, man. If you like what you hear, hit the subscribe button, man. Subscribe to this channel. And also, please, go to isubk.com and pay your tithe. drop me some cash so we can move around this planet like we need to, man, and do the things we need to do.
They're one West. They're one West. They're one West. They're
Chicago did it.
Something to eat.
I got some change for you. Go on real quick.
What's going on? Get Kapash, goddamn. Where you been? Goddamn. Going to and fro in the earth, conquering and to conquer. Shit, Kapash.
And scouting some spots.
Kapash gonna be one of them niggas. He openly draws about 15 passports in there. And they got Kapash in every different language. Belgium, Eritrea, they got Kapash in every different language. I feel you, brother.
You the same way, other one. I'm talking Barack Yala. I'm trying to get you to come with us out to his spot. He trying to see his people.
I realize you're trying to yank for my ass. Nah, man, that's good though. Traveling and reaching brothers, it definitely helped.
That's right.
Spirits up, builds the spirits up with brothers, you know what I mean? So we keep doing it. Lord be with you all out there with everything y'all do. It's really good and strong. So what we dealing with? Trump, trying to do a whole lot, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. I can't figure out Esau, like where he going with this way? This is just plain chaos. I mean, something he trying to pass and he trying to distract blacks, I mean Hispanics, I mean and First Nation people with. Or he just trying to separate us more. You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
trying to drive that wedge in between
Yeah.
black and Hispanics more. And I
Mhm.
pray it backfire. Whatever he trying to do, I pray it backfire quick, man.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Whatever he trying to do. Because boy, what they doing to them Hispanics, you know what I mean? It's hell on earth. You know what I mean? They got something that you die to go to hell. Ask them Hispanics where hell is right now. You know what I mean? Ain't no coffee keeping them. You know what I mean? They don't need coffee to keep them up. You understand?
Right.
It's to be, you know what I mean? You in your house, and you know what I mean? Every noise at the door, you jumping because you're thinking, you know what I mean? Today is the day. You know what I mean? And now, when you deport them, you're deporting the money they have in the bank account too. You're deporting the property with them too. Who gonna get all of that? Who gonna get a paycheck that they just work for? The 9 to 5. Who gonna get a paycheck? You understand? Like they're just robbing everybody in this earth. You know what I mean? And because you know what I mean, we're the weakest, you know what I mean, in our parents, you know what I mean, he's taking advantage of us. You know what I mean? Total advantage. You know what I mean? He ain't do that to the January 6th people. He ain't call the National Guard, he ain't call the Marines, and them had guns. You understand? They had guns, they had handcuffs, they had everything ready to go to war. And the Marines are trained to go to war, and you sending them on civilians. You understand? Like this is just, you know what I mean? He is really taking it to the point where, you know what I mean, these dumb, you know what I mean, these dumb oppressors, they think he's doing this for them. But he's going to rob them blind. You understand? This is just a setup to rob them and rob us blind. I yield.
And kind of, if I could, what you're saying is so heavy because, like you said, they didn't terror. Even going to work, they had terror. So now, if you don't show up to work because you're hearing about some sweep, your bills ain't gonna stop.
Yeah.
Your light bill don't slow down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so now you even need more hell because now you still want to get out and about and get to work to get your money because your bills are still stacking, but you also don't want to leave the house. So it's hell, like you said, I don't want it's hell on earth.
Mm-hmm.
And for black people, it's time for us to wake the hell up because you got some black people talking about, oh, what did Mexicans do for us, and you know that's not our fight. Look, even your sellout leader Martin Luther King said this: injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. So they talking about in the LA area. I seen this on News Now. They were saying that they getting reports that people getting arrested, and within 24 hours they in Mexico City. No court, no nothing. Just whoop, whoop, just sending them there. So now they skipping all the Constitution, skipping all the rights, and all of that. What you think? You think that's gonna stop there? The oppressor don't stop because you know it works. he keeps going with it. So it's going to look ugly. We need to stand in solidarity with our Hispanic brothers and sisters. They're the tribe of Issachar, and it's crazy because we were in the same position. Black man was rioting in the streets for injustice. Now our brothers rioting in the streets for injustice. When you gonna see, it's really all the same. You know, we all in the same boat. So
I just want to add to. I don't know if there was any statement like that from black people towards the Palestinian protests. I don't know if I ever hear black people saying their fight is not our fight. You understand? But you, for the Hispanics, you're gonna come out and say, make that bold statement. Their fight is our fight. You understand? The Spaniard conquered them, and because they talk Spanish, you know what I mean, the language, there's a language barrier. But if they could talk English, they'll be saying the same thing we say. If we spoke Spanish, we'll be saying the same thing they're saying. You understand? The Hispanics are being treated just like niggers because they are niggers. You understand? And they're allowed to say it because they're just like us. You understand? I yield.
So, like, if I may too, and just what everyone is saying is so heavy. There's a lot of the tribe of Judah, so-called Negroes. I'm hearing the argument that this is what they voted for, and your justification on why you don't want to stand with the Hispanics. I'm hearing a lot of you say this is what they voted for. Let me help you. If you voted at all, you're just as wrong as the Hispanics that did vote for Trump.
That's right.
It's like you trying to now use who they voted for to be against them. You voted for Harris. If Harris would have gotten office, she would have been murdering all of our black babies in abortion clinics. You understand? You're not right because you didn't vote for Trump. You understand that the loser you voted for didn't get in office. You understand?
Okay.
You're just as wrong for voting for Harris as they are for voting for Trump. But that doesn't change the fact that we are Israel. You understand? That doesn't change the fact that we are the children of Israel and we have to rally together and come together.
That's right.
Khan, if I could, man, that's if I could, that's such a for one, it's a morally wrong argument to say that. And for two, it's even unconstitutional. So basically, you're saying if you voted, anything can happen to you in the government and you can't complain. You can't say nothing about it. You can't do nothing about it just because you voted. So you vote, a cop come in and beat you half to death on the side of the road for jaywalking. Well, you voted. Does that even sound right? Just because you voted don't mean you have no say. Even the founding fathers of America didn't believe in that. You know why? Because they the ones who they loved the Queen, said long live the Queen. Then when the Queen didn't work no more, what they do? They stood up and said something, no taxation without representation to the Queen. So, that's not even an American thing to say, let alone a morally righteous thing to say that because Mexican voted, that now anything can happen. It's a free game. They can break the Constitution. They can break the laws. They can slice deals that they made with our Hispanic brothers. They made deals with them that they can come over here. Why do you think they having court cases? They ain't not having court cases because they just so illegal. They having court cases because they coming through the process. They're even blocking immigrants from their court cases in the process. You're arresting immigrants in the court. So at this point, it ain't about nothing. It's not about no rule of law or no constitutional being upright or nothing. They are treating this as their opportunity to seize power and control. That's what they're using this for. They're using this as opportunity because now the governor of California said he didn't want the National Guard out there. The president sent the California National Guard out there anyway. They got videos of the governors and mayors trying to go into these facilities to see the people who've been arrested, and they're being blocked from being able to enter into a government facility. So at this point, it ain't about nothing. It's about power and control and white supremacy. That's the goal. The goal ain't trying to be morally right and stop criminal illegal act. It ain't about none of that. It's about being able to do whatever they want in this country, and nobody have the power to stop them. Because as long as the president said it, then it's okay. Then you can do it. But that's not how this country's supposed to run. It's supposed to be checks and balances. That's what they said. But how are you going to believe the devil?
That's it.
So it's time for us to get with Commander Yahanna, because what we've been saying since 1969 is coming to pass.
That's it.
And I yield there.
So lucky family.
You good, sir.
Yeah, and again, everything that that has been brought out, as the scripture say, the devil have it but a short time, right? So he making sure that he utilize that time, and this is why it's important for brothers and sisters to really gravitate or you know put their as you say their focus on the truth, and as you say, this is the only place or the last place where blacks, Latinos, and Native Indian would really find their identity and understand what is really taking place in the earth. So again, to Commander General Yana, generals, everybody, holding down this truth since 1969 and making sure that we were able to really, get this, in this time, and as you say, in this season, because every
That's
time,
right.
everything is a season. So in this season, no, it's lucky. I yield to
That's right.
So like
That's
if I
right.
can, if I
You're
can,
good.
and I want to second everything, what I'm saying, brothers bringing out. And it's so heavy. So while you talking about the seasons, because we just closed the feast of first fruits, and just thinking about the timing of this, targeting of people who help provide the harvest for this country. I had the opportunity of going to a business establishment where they serve. It's called a salad station. That's what the name of the business food place is. And I went there, of course, down south, me and my wife, and we was getting getting ourselves together as far as what I'm saying, eating the food. And my wife overheard a conversation between these Edomites talking about the protests, talking about the Latino brothers, and they was talking about how they wasn't doing right, and how they would not right for what they were doing. And as I'm sitting here looking at, now this is the place is called the salad station. They only serve vegetation. They only serve food that's grown in the garden or in the field. And I'm looking at this vast amount of vegetation. And I'm saying to myself, it's because of these Latino brothers and sisters that you have a job. You didn't pick any of these vegetables. You didn't pick the corn here. You didn't pick the tomatoes. You didn't do it. But you have the nerve to speak about a people while you preside over vegetation that they pick. Blood, sweat, and tears.
Yep.
That's this country. That's this place. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord, and once again, the water to Commander General Yahanna for the spiritual insight and foresight to know how to move in these times. And we want to, like I said, I want to, extend the invitation now to all you brothers and sisters that's protesting across the country, our Latino brothers, man. Invite us there to speak, to show solidarity.
That's
Some
right.
of us already reached out. We're waiting a response, but don't turn away the hand of the Lord. Don't turn away, because I'm starting to see some of these protests. I'm starting to see more Palestinian flags than Mexican flags. And I noticed that when we, and some, not all, but when we try as Black people in the ISUPK, Black, Latino, American Indian, but mainly what I'm talking about is you to come out there, extend the olive branch. There's some people in the back saying, don't mess with them. Don't deal with them. But you deal with the Palestinians. I want to warn you, brothers and sisters. There are hands in these things that are against you. You got to be careful. You got to be wise. Anybody telling you not to listen to the ISUPK or not to invite the ISUPK is an enemy among you.
That's right.
I'm telling you straight up.
That's
They
right.
don't want black and brown unity. They
That's
rather
right.
have the Palestinian unify with you. I keep saying I keep saying this, but this has to stop.
That's right.
They will once again, these heathens will use your movement to catapult their cause.
That's right.
And their cause is not your cause.
That's right.
All the brothers, Latino brothers from the West Coast all the way down to Texas, all the way down on the East Coast, understand that it's time for solidarity for our brothers and sisters.
That's
and
right.
we here in the ISUPK, we extend our love and our solidarity. Why? Because we're one flesh.
That's right.
And we're down by law. Ain't no separating us. And all you Uncle Tom Judites out there and you sellouts that's trying to speak against them, you at fault as well.
That's right.
Forces that's trying to keep us apart. We have to deal with what the commonality is. We have a common struggle. We have a common struggle against the system of oppression.
That's right.
Lucky, I yield.
All right.
That's right. And Cap, could I add to? Yeah, I mean, there's two things, Cap. One, you brothers and sisters, you blacks, Hispanics, and First Nation people. I heard you when we was at camp saying there are some good white people, some good oppressors, right? Are they not some good Mexicans, some good Issacharites too?
Right.
Come on, man.
Right.
Come on, man.
So you see, this has nothing to do with what? With character.
Right.
This has to do with, this is a business transaction between these devils. You understand? One devil getting poor, the other devil getting rich.
Yeah.
And we always get caught in between these heathen fight. We always getting caught. And then the second thing is this. Captain Khan just said it. Esau, or the oppressor, is known for dividing and conquering. He's known for it. And everything they're doing right now to black people and the Mexicans here, the so-called Israelis learned it from right here. And they're clearly seeing it. And how I know that? I follow the war with Hamas and the Israelis. It came out recently that Netanyahu was paying clans, you understand, clan members of Palestinians, paying them to fight Hamas, to do his dirty job. You understand? Which means he is dividing and conquering also too. And where he learned that from? He learned that from the United States of America. Go ask the Native Indians, the Navajo Indians. You understand? Go ask Sitting Bull's family. You understand? Who fight them? Yeah, it was the red coats. But brother,
that's right.
They've been putting us against each other way back when. Even in from the Garden of Eden, they've been putting us against each other. And they master it. And you seeing any other nation up in your protest, something is wrong.
That's right.
Something is wrong.
Right.
You understand? Now you.
Yeah, that's cold right there. I ain't gonna lie. This whole protest thing is I'm taken aback by it because I think it got to be last week. I think it was UCAP or Kazakh, somebody I was talking to about if they was doing this to any other nation, especially like the Arabs and them. You know, they would be blowing America to hell up.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, you know, the 12 tribes, we not like that in that way. You know, I mean, the last time I see something like this was Freddie Gray. So like you're saying, for this to happen like that, damn near overnight, like there wasn't even a precursor to the protest. There wasn't no, you know, an incident, a flashpoint that bubble is up. You know what I mean? It just, you know, we went in one weekend, and by the end of it, it's, you know, cop cars destroyed, this, that, the other. Like, don't be surprised if this is, you know, this is them stoking up the flames more, so they have an excuse to do something else, something more extreme. You know what I mean? Because they were saying, I think, before the California incident, that Trump's approval rating was his lowest ever, including his first term. And his reaction to the protests, he's rising up a little bit more now. So this is like good business for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's who knows, you know what I mean? Remember Black Lives Matter, there was Soros and them was, you know, stoking the flame with the shit. And everybody thinking it's, you know, it's just all one and all unity coming together when they using it for them. So who knows if he done take the playbook and flip it around so he could show the great white hand against you know, these Latinos, these bad hombres.
Right.
That's right.
Nobody ain't doing, you know, necessarily doing nothing like that. Who knows, man? Who knows? Like it's definitely playing a bad game. Go ahead, Capsula.
Kind, if I could, to go off of what you're saying is heavy, Adawan, because I seen it there was a political movie. It was a movie, and in the movie, the main guy was, I guess he was trying to get voted back in or something like that. And so he had his team. They had a fake cop, and a guy. They got the little video, and they went to the alley, and the cop beat up the guy, and they recorded it, and then they uploaded it on the internet like it was real. And then it just went viral and spiraled and caused more panic and protests. And then he took advantage of all the protests so he could, you know, get what he needed politically done. So, like you said, you know, it's not above them to do things like that. It's not above them to send ICE agents to a elementary school into, you know, and terrorize an elementary school full of kids, and then put it all over town of what happened to get the people to rise up against it, so they could send in more agents and pass a bill to get $10 billion more towards this, and then lock the city down, and then take over the damn state with Marines. It's not above them.
That's right.
Yeah, it's definitely not. It's absolutely not. Remember, before Twitter turned to X, that in the Middle East, when they had the revolution in Egypt with the Arab Spring, that shit was orchestrated on Twitter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You remember that shit? And, you know, Elon Musk now, he done separated from Trump, or so they want us to believe, because, you know, he made a whole 180 now and say he support what Trump doing with the troops.
Yep.
So, man, like, you know, the Holy Generals always say, like, we really play in a game that we really don't understand, because we're really not in the game.
Yeah.
We don't understand the stakes. We don't really realize what the goal or the end of this is. We're just too oppressed. We're too beat down to even really fully comprehend this whole thing. So, man, it's a horrible thing going on. It's like it going good.
Oh no, Cap, what you saying is nuclear. It's more to it than meets the eye.
Yeah.
You brothers out there that's on social media, and sisters on social media, it's more to it than meets the eye. You got to be spiritual. You can't walk by sight. You got to walk by faith. You got to understand. And how do you understand that? By being in the ISUPK, by getting counsel. Once again, Commanding General Yahanna's access is always open to our brothers and sisters, man.
Yeah.
You got to know that. You got to know that the Bible says in the multitude of counsel there's safety.
That's right.
We know our brothers from the tribe of Issachar and all our Latino brothers and sisters, they want to fight. And you have the right to fight, but you have to know how to fight, because there are enemies and traitors among you.
That's right.
Anybody telling you don't deal with them, even though we want to show solidarity, boy, you better watch who's funding you. All gifts ain't good gifts.
That's right.
Everybody that tried to, you know, say we for this and this ain't, you know, they're not who they say they are. You understand? And so, you know, and also I want to bring this point out if I could. There's a clash that's getting ready to happen between religion and politics, because think about it. Who's majority in the Catholic Church? Our Latino brothers and sisters. I haven't heard a word from the Pope. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But the Roman Catholic Church, there's a separation of church and state. They have an obligation to provide sanctuary for their saints, quote unquote, for their parishioners.
Yep.
According to the doctrine that they say they believe.
Right.
You haven't seen that. Why? Because the Lord is showing you that there's about to be a clash. Even the white evangelicals, they backing Trump full throttle with this situation.
Yeah.
So now we reached a point now. Are you going to be anti-ICE or anti-Christ? And the UPK, once again, ain't no escaping it. Ain't no escaping God's word.
Right.
You already know that the UPK can back up everything we saying with the Bible biblically. You know that. So I just want to say that to all the devout Catholics out there who or the ones that say they're Catholic. There's Israelites. There's from the Latino tribe. What is the Catholic Church saying about this? What are they doing? You don't hear anything, and they won't say anything. So like I yield.
That's it.
So like, go ahead, Captain.
No, go ahead, because I'll come after.
Kawakasa, so, and just to piggyback off of what y'all have been saying too, anybody that's familiar with history, Operation Northwoods was the Department of Defense plan to stage false flag events in order to give them precedence to go into Cuba, and that was in 1962. This was an actual operation with the Department of Defense, and so just like Captain Khan was saying, and then Captain Kapash and Captain Shock, you understand what you're seeing in front of you. There's more than meets the eye. And there's so much more than meets the eye. Just like we found out later that Black Lives Matter was really white people being paid by the George Soros and the liberals,
right,
to now appear a certain way to allow certain precedents to happen. Like we got to understand, the oppressor is very crafty, like the Bible says. He's very crafty, and he deals with us wisely. You understand? They don't really make too many decisions regarding us. That's just spur of the moment. That usually doesn't happen on a high level. Usually they have think tanks and corporations, and they pay the best analysts to study us and to see how we will react, and to see how their people will react to how we react, and all these different things. So don't think it far-fetched to believe that what these protests that you see coming up all over the DMV, these No King protests, don't think it far-fetched that these are white people, Donald Trump's people, staging these protests to seem as if the Hispanics are so unruly and unlawful.
Right.
That's not the case. And saying Operation Northwoods is the precedent to show you that our oppressor, the government, they'll do whatever they need to institute their plans. So like,
and can I say one thing? What you just said, Kazak. There was
Kawakan.
an article of the Walmart Harris. She's a billionaire. She urging people to mobilize, talking about an anti-Trump protest on June the 14th. Now here you have it. This is a Walmart Harris. She's a billionaire. She's a white woman, and she's urging people to mobilize. There's money behind that.
Right.
There's money behind that. So you gotta understand. Once again, they have now monetized your movement. I want you to feel that for a moment, brothers and sisters. Once again, there's a scripture in the Bible where the Bible says we cannot make merchandise of our brethren and sisters. You can't make merchandise of it. Everything ain't to be monetized. Everything ain't to be put a dollar sign on. And that's what they would do. They did it with the civil rights movement. And they did it every other movement that off the backs of us, even the labor movement, even with our Latinos brothers as well. And they're going to try to do it again. Like General House always say, the scriptures he bring out that we don't be ignorant of Satan's devices. He has devices. You understand? It ain't just social media. He has multifaceted. There we go, right there. The water cap. This woman here is a billionaire. And now I ain't got to tell you what our Walmart sell. They get goods from all over, mainly China. But the fruits and vegetables, they coming at the heads and off the backs of our Latino brothers and sisters. Now you urging an anti-Trump. Once again, you have to see the whole chessboard, brothers and sisters.
Okay.
That's what the UPK is trying to let you know. You know what I'm saying? They're moving pawns and bishops and knights and things on the chessboard, and you don't see what's going on. You gotta get above the ground level. And how do you know that? How do you get that? By getting in contact with the ISUPK. You understand? We out there. The cause is noble. It's unrighteous what they're doing. It's not right. But we have to sit down at the table as brothers and sisters, mainly with Commander General Yahanna, and sit down and say, how can we fix this? How can we withstand this devil? Once again, you have to put on the whole armor of the Lord, the Bible say, to withstand him. You can't just put on a helmet and then put on the body armor and ain't got your legs covered. You got to put on the whole armor of the Lord to withstand this man. You understand? Because if you have any chink in your armor, he's going to expose it.
That's it.
You understand? So I just wanted to bring that out. So, like it, sir. Are you?
And Khan.
Go ahead.
No, just to add to what you were saying too. You mean the Bible? Tani Lord for the house if you're gonna come out of Yahanna, man. Because I think Meshach said something that we in a game and we don't even know we play in a game, and that's because your leaders, as the Bible say, cause you to err. And how? What Captain Kahan just said. Your leaders ain't have all the armor on. Why? Because they're getting paid. You understand? They can't say no to money.
Right.
No to money. You understand? That Jamal Bryant.
Right.
Anytime he stopped protesting against Target, is because
he get paid.
Target give him money.
That's right.
You understand? That's when you know. That's your leaders. You understand? They don't put on the whole armor. They put, as Khan said, they put on a helmet and go in and play a game of football. You understand? And not even paying somebody else to play for them. You understand? And you in the background thinking, what the hell going on? Why this? You know what I mean? My grandfather marched in the 50s, 60s. And today, my uncle marching and my kids marching for the same thing they marched for back then.
Right.
That's right.
Ain't no change. That because we are poor leadership. You understand?
Yeah.
As Captain Khan saying, somebody telling you not to come to Commander Journey Yahanna and the UPK is somebody who getting paid and do not want the UPK to come out there and say what is really going on in this place. Which is we're gonna bring the Bible. We're gonna bring the book that the Black Panthers left out. We're gonna bring the book that all your NAACP leaders left out.
Right.
We're bringing the book. You understand? That Bible, your constitution there, and showing you in there that the white man is the devil the Bible speaks of, and don't believe anything he's doing or saying.
Right. God.
Yeah.
And if I could, what both of y'all are saying is so heavy because I got the main and it couldn't come together. The main people that definitely benefit from this and basically put no skin in the game, the Democrats. The Democrats are going to be the main pushers behind this, so they could rile up the people and make it in the same way Trump used the Proud Boys and all those maggots and all whatnot to help his agenda. The Democrats are going to try to use blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to push their agenda and try to promote themselves back into power. You know what I mean? And that they've already done it before, and they're going to do it again. You know, that's what the Black Lives Matter was a lot of was surrounded around. It was a Democrat movement with white Democrats involved as well, so they could take out their frustrations against the system also. So now you'll probably see a lot of whites in this movement that'll be doing things to push their agenda as well, and then covering it as, oh, the Mexicans is doing it. The Mexicans is doing this and that. They're going to try to use us, like Capcom was saying. So.
Yeah, there's one playbook all the way through for us, and you know they just switch a few plays around, move a few pegs around, because in such a short space of time for that to happen with no flashpoint. Now, not to say oppressed people is going to lash out for sure, absolutely, but there was no precursor to this. There was nothing. There wasn't even an incident that caused, and I mean, it's one of the things you really got to think of and watch what really going on, because they I think what he said, they send in the National Guard and the Marines to Virginia. They're deploying them to Virginia this weekend, in and around DC, because of that the King's Day. King's Day march with Trump and the troops for the 250 years. That's going on June 14th, which is Saturday. So, you really had to be mindful and watch what it is going on with these devils, because there's always a play at hand with them. There's always a play at hand. They're going to use this to violate everybody, tremendously. They're talking about arresting people. They said they're going to arrest the governor.
Good night.
They said they're sending Marines to arrest him because he's defying the president, when, according to how it is written, the protocol for this dispatching the Marines and them, he had a call for it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
You know what I mean? He's the one had a call for it, and he said, You know what I mean? He said, nah, they don't need it. But, this is the heavy hand of white supremacy. It's the heavy hand of it, and it's going to go as far as they could push it until they themselves implode, because it is a ton of infighting with Trump as well.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So we'll see how this thing goes. In the meantime, you one of the 12 tribes of Israel, you so-called Negro, you so-called Latino or First Nation, you find the Israelite school of UPK under command General Yahanna ASAP.
That's right, Captain.
You find the school ASAP, because, brother, I couldn't imagine whether it's a plot, whether it's, they plan it or it's organic. I couldn't imagine being a 10-year-old right now, Latino in a house somewhere, or a 20 or 25-year-old in the world. You just newly married, just have a son or a daughter, and this is what you had to face. Like you were saying, Cap, it's a fear to go to work. It's a fear to leave the house. Children go to school, come back, the parents ain't there. Parents drop the children off, the children ain't there. Like this is a tremendous, spiritual and mental terrorism that's going on in the 12 tribes of Israel. Like this is seriously traumatic. Seriously traumatic. And you really had to watch now and decide where you stand. You know what I mean? Now you're gonna have to put all your chips on the Lord's side. You gotta go for broke at this point. You gotta go for broke at this one. You know what I mean? So
Lock it, Cap.
Go ahead, please.
Can I bring out one scripture? You just said something heavy.
Come on.
That made me think of this scripture. Can I get Isaiah chapter 30, verse 2?
Come on. Come on with it.
Isaiah chapter 30, because what you said something heavy. You said about how, brothers and sisters in the Latino community, and I'm seeing it just being around a lot of brothers, being around some brothers and sisters that's in the Latino community, and you can kind of tell that, that fear, not going to work or not, they going at people's graduation, they going to people's jobs, you know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
So it's like you almost got to pick your sick days. You're looking to sit down, okay, when they come today, you can kind of see how they moving, and it's really sad how, how they targeting our brothers and sisters, man. But this scripture right here, this lets us know that we're the people of the Lord, and our Latino brothers, they're the chosen people of the Lord.
That's right.
Isaiah chapter 30, verse 2, my brother.
Come. The book of Isaiah, chapter 30 and verse 2. That walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked a dime at my mouth.
And that's what we telling you, man. We got to ask at the Lord's mouth, man. You understand? And who's the mouthpiece of the Lord? Commanding General Yahanna. Make no mistake about it.
That's right.
You got to ask. You got to the mouth of the Lord. It speaks through the prophets.
That's right.
You ain't asking. You asking some person who's organizing for the Palestinians, or you asking some person that's saying they're a professional activist, ad water activist. You better ask it at the mouth of the Lord, or some politician like Kapash said, who feel like this is their moment to get back in the spotlight, because Trump done kicked the wind out of these Democrats. he didn't kick the wind out of these Democrats. You know what I'm saying? So now they want to bring up the word, insurrection. The Republicans can't even use the word. The word insurrection should be banned from the Republican Party.
That's right.
Let me just keep it real. They shouldn't even use it shouldn't even be in the vocabulary.
That's right.
But you are in some of these leaders and these protests, and they know how to organize, but they haven't asked at the mouth of the Lord.
Right.
Go ahead.
Come. To strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh.
You trying to how do you strengthen yourself in the strength of Pharaoh? By trusting in this system. You trust in this democratic system. You trust it had the program, the Dreamers program, where they got rid of that for a lot of our brothers and sisters that's coming through the immigration program. You know what I'm saying? You trusting in the strength of you trying to strengthen yourself in the strength of Pharaoh, in this government, in this way of life. Go ahead.
And to trust in the shadow of Egypt.
That right there, and they got an exclamation point on the end of that. Every time I see that scripture, it makes me think about people. Because you not in Egypt, you in the shadows of Egypt. That's what you trust in. You trust in the shadows. You're not really a part of this place. You live in the shadows. How do I know that? Because you got to pick if you're gonna go to work or not, because you don't know if immigration gonna come. You got to pick if you're gonna go to your child's graduation. You got to pick if you're gonna go to the grocery store. You got to pick if you're gonna work at a restaurant that they may storm. You living in the shadows. Our oppressor, he's in Egypt. He's living good. In Egypt is being in the best of things. The shadows is the least. And it's about to be high noon.
That's right.
So like I yield. So like Cap, you muted, Cap. So like.
Salaki to water. I'm waiting because everything you're bringing out there, I know it's the truth and it's hitting home because, of course, in the comments, you have, the hecklers, racial melanate, like melanated. I guess that's the play on word.
Oh, my goodness.
No one is free until Palestine is free. And same on both sides, genocidal fascist sympathize. We need the people to stand up together. Who the fuck is we?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Who is the we? Who is the we that needed? That's what I'm saying, man. Like I thank the Lord again for being in the truth and being able to watch, with a keen eye, everything and seeing the same man in motion.
That's
You're
right.
watching a football, seeing the same man in motion running. Like, who is the we that need everybody to stand up? We ain't getting deported.
That's right.
Right.
Who is the we that we talking about? Who is the we? We need everyone to stand up.
Come on, Cap.
Now, listen, man, like you don't sold yourself out here tonight with this comment. You don't told on yourself, and you prove that what we saying is the truth.
That's right.
We need everybody to stand up and do this. Maybe it's them Palestinians in America with all the money doing all this shit.
That's right.
Yeah.
Maybe it's all in the play now trying to get Israel. Y'all know Judah that had it with y'all dumbass in the stores. So y'all trying on the sympathizers on the side of Issachar. I don't know. But they ain't no we, because there was never no we. It's us.
That's right.
It's us and them. And you is not us.
Damn right.
You is not us, man. We got tired of y'all trying to be us and trying to play us into a damn corner, man. Like this is serious. People is bad. I mean, imagine being one of them kids separated, not knowing what the hell is going on. It's traumatic.
That's right.
You're gonna have a whole generation. You're talking about COVID and the psychological effects. Brother, there's gonna be a whole generation of children that's gonna have severe PTSD in the 20s from the shit that's going on.
And
whole generation. So like, go ahead.
Cap, and to add to what you're saying, ain't no Hispanic running nobody house and slaughter nobody.
Right.
You understand? So those say we running laps around you right now. You understand? Like where were you? You understand? In the 80s, in the 60s. Where were you Palestinian? You was enjoying our land.
That's right.
You understand? You and Israel and all these Caucasian men, you all made a deal. You understand? Now live up to that deal. Don't come bring us into your deal now. That ain't our deal. We didn't make no deal. That land was stolen from us.
Yeah.
You understand? You all thought the white man was going to side with you against us. But he was just buying his time.
Yeah.
So now go fight. We have a fight here to deal with. And we'll deal with it with Hispanic brothers.
Yeah, right.
You understand? Now go help the Palestinians and stop crying on our channel here. Go help them.
Right. That's right. That's right.
That's right.
Can I say one thing, Cap?
Please, please.
No, this cat, whoever these people are, let me tell you, like Cap said, the we, okay, all right, okay, let's just use what you just said. Let's go off what you just said. You said we, all right. So if it's we, why are you waving a Palestinian flag instead of a Mexican flag?
Right.
I'm going to see that. Look, that's why you got to keep me out the city. That's why you niggas got to keep me out the city. If it's we, why are you waving the Palestinian flag instead of saying, hold up, all you Palestinians, let's all get the Mexican flag.
That's right.
To show solidarity. You don't want to do that because it's never about we. It's we until it's me.
That's right.
And I'm here to tell you right now, it's La Raza over Gaza.
That's right. That's his shit right there.
You don't want it there because you trying to fund the thing to try to keep us from our brothers. That's what it is. We didn't see this playbook. Captain Shock brought it out. Captain Doc, all the brothers, all the captains, and Kazak Ahmad and Sawab then brought it out. We have seen this playbook. We've seen it before. That's the good thing about a memory. Your oppressor don't want you to have a memory. But we didn't seen this before. That's why the Bible says, don't be ignorant of his device. He keeps saying, we. Well, where are those olives? Why we ain't got getting those olives wholesale from Palestine and from the olive trees that you got, giving it to us free. Right. We don't get into that olive oil from our land,
right? From
the trees our forefathers, the seeds they planted in their land. We don't get that.
That's right.
You want to keep talking about we? Well, show me what you can do on your own first.
That's right.
Everybody got to deal with their own racism now. That game is over with.
Right.
It's done. Lock. I yield, sir.
Listen, and shout out Malakma out of California. Shout out Malakma. He said, he saved Rachel Melonid. Where y'all at to help the Rasa? Where y'all stopping ICE from taking our people? A Latino brother fight for y'all foolishly in DC, and y'all ain't do a damn thing for the Rasa. Again, the memory. Right. You can't erase the memory, man. Like, we are people actually go through something with nobody to help. And we tired of y'all playing pawns with us, man. Like, if it's one thing I could say from this one, whether it's, some kind of orchestrated thing or it's an organic thing, our people are waking up and watching and seeing. It's doing something where it's waking us up and causing us to question, causing us to ask the right questions and think in a train of thought that's not the usual train of thought where, well, they must have done something wrong,
right?
Or if they call in so much troops and police, it's needed because they get wild out there. None of that shit. None of that shit. Like, people is actually questioning now, where the hell is all, what is this for?
Yeah.
What is all this for? You calling all these troops, all this, that, the other. For what? For who? Them Arabs took down 2 of your damn buildings in New York. You didn't have all this energy for them. You wasn't kicking doors looking for Arabs. You wasn't pulling no taxis over, pulling Arabs out, anybody in a kufi and a dress deports, and you wasn't doing none of that shit.
Yeah.
You was doing none of it. But just because we don't have our own military, because we don't have a economy that we could, turn off the tap on you and leave a hole in your bank, you do this to us. The Lord gonna make you pay, man. The Lord gonna bring war to this earth where you wouldn't have one Marine to spare to stop a damn placard, to stop a riot, to stop a protest. You know what? Listen, you know why they could deploy so much Marines and reserve guards and all that down there? There's no war that America is fighting.
Yeah.
They could march 5,000 soldiers into DC. Brother, you should see the barracks. You should see how they're setting up DC streets are. The mayor and them scared for the roads with the amount of tanks they bring in. I'm talking about tanks. It got to be about 40 or 50 tanks they bring in through this damn city. They put in the army say no problem. You only had to worry about the roads. They putting on these big metal plates on the road. so the iron threads don't dig up the earth.
Is that for the parade?
That's for the parade. That's for Trump's birthday bash. That's for his birthday party. Right? You know, today was 80-something degrees. Tomorrow about to be 89. Real feel 95 or something. You know, them troops got to get thirsty. They got to have about 1 billion gallons of water they got to bring in. You could afford to do that because your troops is not at war. The Lord gonna bring something where you ain't gonna be able to spare security guard. He's gonna bring something to you. You want a plague brought to you? There's gonna be a plague of war. Not enough of y'all are deployed. That's what's going on. Not enough of y'all are deployed. It's supposed to be a question of, damn, could we bring some back from the West Bank? Could we bring some home to deal with this here? You know what I mean? Or like what you all did with the Italians and the Irish. Here, let's hire some of them to help organize and police and do this type of thing. You wouldn't do that for us. The Lord gonna bring a plague for you. You're gonna experience everything you put on us in one.
That's right.
Your children gonna be terrified. The mothers and fathers gonna be bereft of heart because the children missing. You're gonna experience all the terror you done put on us, because that right there is a bunch of bullshit. There's no reason for that. There's absolutely no reason for what you do. And talking about, LA would burn down if you didn't send the guard in. Nigga, you burned down Tulsa, Oklahoma. What the hell are we talking about? Where's God to stop us? Where's God to stop you from doing that to us? You burned down Rosewood. You burned down so many of our cities and towns. What are you talking about? LA would burn down. You don't care nothing about that? Man, y'all pray for war and pray for judgment on this empire, man. Pray for it, man. So these people is heartless, absolutely heartless. You know what I mean? Y'all want to get into some of the stories before we went on eat up? I know we eat up a good bit of the time.
Come, sir.
Where you want to go? There's a few of them. I know we could do the birthday bash. There's a few good stories, extra stories there too. Let's see where we could start. Number 15 is good too, where Trump said, if they spit, we hit.
Good night.
He said, if they spit, we hit. Like we are real toys and pawns to every other nation. Hold on, let me see if I can pull the video.
And Cap, that's so crazy. And you know what I mean? You have no choice but to draw reference to January 6th.
Right.
You understand? They were doing more than spitting on January 6th.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? They unalive a woman on January 6th. That wasn't spitting. You know what I mean? Spitting and ain't nobody gonna die. You know what I mean?
Right.
They train them. This was we train to take that. You understand? But you can't train to take a bullet.
That's right.
You understand? You understand? And January 6th was bringing it to them. You understand?
Yeah.
Where was the Marines? Where was the Marines? Where was the National Guard? And the crazy thing about it, he can't say he didn't have time to deploy them. He knew they were coming the day before. He could have override the person in charge of the guards for the White House and say what? Nah, I'm gonna bring in these people just to make sure we secure. Just like what he did for Newsom.
Right.
You understand? He did Newsom a favor, according to him, and brought in the Marines and the National Guard. But he could have done the White House personnel security a favor and bring in the National Guards and Marines, and we'd see how that played out.
Right.
You understand? Like black people, you gotta wake up and sort of realize that this confusion is just to disrupt you, because something else is coming right around the corner.
Yeah.
And black man, if you feel you know what I mean, it's going to stop with the Hispanics and the Haitians and the other, you know what I mean, your Mexican brothers. Wait and see what's going to happen to us.
That's right.
Wait and see what they're planning to do to us. If this man does not go to war in the next year, 2 years, brother, where you think he gonna fight the war? This man needs somewhere to fight.
Yeah.
And if there's no wars to fight, then he gotta come home and make a war, fabricate a war.
Yep.
Right.
Because if he does not fabricate a war against you, then guess who he gonna be fighting and killing? He gonna be fighting and killing himself.
Yeah.
You understand? That's why the more and more we come together, the more and more blacks, Hispanics, and First Nation come together, the more and more white people are going to fight and kill each other.
That's right.
You watch and see what's going to happen. The more and more we come together.
Yes.
There's going to be more mass shooting on their own people because they won't get to realize Donald Trump and these rich white men really was robbing them.
That's
and
right.
using us as the front, as the scapegoat, as Commander Yahanna always say.
Yeah.
Using us as the scapegoat. Well, right now, your Mexican brothers is the scapegoat.
That's right.
It gonna wear out. It's gonna wear out. So he gotta find another scapegoat. It's like he just recycles. Versus us in the 60s. Now you come to 2024. Now is your Mexican brothers.
Yeah.
What think gonna happen in the next, 5-10 years?
That's right.
If there ain't no war in the Middle East. Coming right back to you.
Yep.
And me. So we gonna have to come together. You understand? Let them use the Second Amendment on themselves, just like they use the Second Amendment on them Englishmen. You understand?
Right.
Are you?
Yeah. So I think this is the one. This is a news clip from the You Spit We Hit.
Also, at the top of the hour, fresh remarks from President Donald Trump, who described the demonstrators as the radical left.
Wow.
Well, we're going to have troops everywhere. We're not going to let this happen to our country. We're not going to let our country be torn apart like it was under Biden and his auto pen.
What's the bar for sending Marines to
The bar is what I think it is. I mean, if we see danger to our country and to our citizens, we'll be very, very strong in terms of law and order. It's about law and order.
on the table, sir? Secretary
We're going to see what we need. We'll send whatever we need to make sure that it's law and order.
Do you foresee those protests spreading to other cities, Chicago, New York, for example, in the next few days?
Yes, we're going to be watching it very closely. And when they spit at people, they spit. That's their new thing. They spit, and worse, you know what they throw at them, right? And when that happens, I have a little statement. They say, they spit, we hit. And I told them, nobody's going to spit on our police officers. Nobody's going to spit on our military, which they do as a common thing. They get up to them this far away, and then they start spitting in their face. That happens, they get hit very hard. What are the rules being made for federal troops? See what happens. If we think there's a serious insurrection or less than that, we're going to have law and order. Very important. How would you define an insurrection? You have to really just have to look at the site. You have to see what's happening. Last night in Los Angeles, we watched it very closely. There was a lot of violence there. There was a lot of violence, and it could have gotten much worse.
So,
listen, I mean, the rhetoric, like you saying, Khan and Cap, all of y'all, really, the rhetoric that they're pushing. I mean, I don't know. It's the insurrection. Save the country from the rioters. What the fuck we talking about? There was feces on Nancy Pelosi's desk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like y'all beat the Capitol Police in the head with we call them fire extinguishers.
Yep.
Broke up all his mask. And big old mask and helmet all in one they be wearing. Shatter the mask. You talking about law and order.
Exactly.
If they spit, what happens if God spit, the devil?
That's right. Come on, Cal.
What happens if God spit? Who you gonna hit? Boy, listen, man. When I say they're gonna earn their judgment.
That's right.
The judgment they get, and they're working very hard for it, and they're going to earn their judgment. This is his kingdom, man. Let him do what he do. He the devil. He the devil. You tribes, you Latino tribe, all the 12 tribes, because it's gonna come to all the 12 tribes eventually. You're gonna have a chance to deport them, but you're gonna have to earn that too. You're gonna have to earn that too. You're gonna have a chance to check, their identity, their papers. You're gonna have to earn that too. This is their kingdom, man. This is their kingdom. You come here and help build yours. Come side with yours and help build yours. Let come side with yours and let theirs fall. And then you're gonna be in that seat now where you could exact that judgment on them. Because this year is absolutely ridiculous.
That's right.
This is and then to deploy more in other cities where none of this shit going on. But again, you trying to drive the spirit of fear. You're trying to drive terror into the hearts of the slaves.
That's right.
The old school, keep the scare on them. Keep the scare on them.
Yeah.
That's right. It's a locking, Cap.
Come on, bro.
Can I get one scripture? When I hear him, I mean, just the fact that he would let the word insurrection come out of his mouth. Law and order come out of his mouth. Can I get one scripture? Can I get Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 11? I'm sorry, started me at verse 10. Because this is what happens when the wicked get in power. Like once again, all they got to do is get in the seat, and then now they control the law. Now, once again, if there was law and order, you would have went to the governor to get permission to bring in the troops. The governor, the mayor, all those elected officials, people that said they had an oath and to this in the Constitution, they said that we can handle it. This is going to escalate the situation. You didn't listen to them. Right. They said Governor Newsom, he had to find out. They said he didn't get no call from the White House. He was finding out on Twitter. I'm sorry, X.
Damn.
He didn't know. He found out the same way we found out this was happening. Like he found out through the Associated Press that they was coming. They were sitting in Marines. He didn't get a call. Hey, Newsom, we want to sit in the Marines. He didn't get a call like that. You understand? And then and always remember this when it comes to their enemy. And this is something we got to know as a people. They know how to name their enemy.
Right.
Like they never let their enemy go unnamed. He said the radical left. So he associating them with the opposite side of the aisle, even though these people don't have no political affiliation. They're just everyday people trying to survive.
Right.
But he will label that as part of the strategy. And let me tell you something, brothers and sisters, before we get into this scripture, I just want to say one thing. It's so heavy. Man, in order to go to war, you have to devalue someone's humanity.
That's it.
You understand? To effectively wage war, you can't see them as human.
Yes, it.
That's how it got to go. So when even them using the term illegal, they don't even want to use the word undocumented.
Yeah.
This person is illegal. What is that? What did that paint the picture to the average red-blooded white American? That you here, you're not supposed to be here, and you here is you being here is violation of my rights. And that's why you see him saying this crazy crap on TV. But this scripture right here is going to prove exactly that what the Lord has said is true, and it's true and true even to this very day. Right. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 10, my brother.
Come. The book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2 and verse 10. Let us oppress the poor righteous man.
Right.
Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the age.
The ICE don't care about all that. They going into these communities, our Latino brothers communities, and they oppressing the poor righteous, the man out there that's got a cart selling, you know what I'm saying, corn and things like that. They oppressing our people that's trying to make a living, that's trying to earn a living, not stealing no jobs. They're earning a living. They beating you on the taco truck in front of McDonald's. They beating you with food and beverage. They beating you at the construction site. They beating you with fashion and culture and music. They don't care about the poor righteous man. They're gonna oppress them. They're gonna oppress the widow. They're gonna oppress the aged man. They're trying to deport every last one of these categories of our brothers and sisters. Go ahead. But this is the heavy part. Feel this for a moment. Go ahead.
Let our strength be the law of justice.
Let our strength be the what?
Law of justice.
The law of what?
Justice.
The Bible said they gonna profess themselves to say, let our strength be the law of justice. Why is that? Because they make the laws. You understand? The rule of law in America is that he who has the rule makes the law. And that's what Donald Trump is. That's why he can define what's insurrection.
Yeah.
He get to redefine what's law and order. That's why the Bible said the wicked would say, let our strength be the law of justice. This is not the real justice. That's the end back. They don't believe in checks and balances, like Captain Kapai said. No checks and balances. You understand? They just checking the balance. Don't care about checks and balances. Let our strength be the law of justice. Why? Because that is the tool they're going to use to oppress what? The poor, righteous man, the widow, the elderly man, the children that's at an elementary graduation. They're going to use the law. They're going to weaponize the law. They're going to weaponize all these things. Why? To oppress us. That's why the Bible says oppression make a wise man mad. It's systematic. Can't nobody out there call the UPK racist by definition, because racism is prejudice plus power. Keep going.
For that which is feeble is found to be nothing worth.
They care nothing about people's lives. They look at you as you feeble. They look at you, we can't use you, kick you out the country. Forget about your children that's about to graduate. Forget about your livelihood, the house you bought, the truck you got, the garden you planted. They don't care about that. They found your life to be worth nothing. Go ahead.
Therefore, let us lie in wait for the righteous, because he is not for our turn.
They don't care about us, because they, guess what? They know the righteous is not, we're not standing with them. You know what I'm saying? They lay in wait. They lay isolated in wait. These are operations they doing. You know what I'm saying? And listen, and I'm gonna say this: they ain't all doing it on people who are undocumented. They doing it on American citizens. These people here have been living in this country. I mean, since forever.
Yeah.
You just moved the border. That's all you did. California was Mexico. Texas was Mexico.
Right.
All you did is draw a line. Kicking these people out, and these people here are hard-working people, man. And they righteous and good people, man. And they the Lord's chosen people. And guess what you do? They say, well, it ain't for our turn, man. Kick them out the country. Go ahead.
And he is clean contrary to our doing. He upbraided us with our offending the law.
There you go. That's how you know there's a righteous law and a wicked law. They use their law for wickedness, but we stand with God's law. You understand? That's what that, I don't want to keep going on, but that right there, that scripture right there is showing you what these people do when they get power. That's why they always be things like this happen. It cycles in America, because every time they get a hold to power, this is what they do. And even Abraham Lincoln said it before they assassinated him. You want to know the test of a man's character? You want to know what he really made of? Give him power. And he's gonna show you what he made, what he gonna do. He gonna show you if he for righteous or he for evil. So like I yield.
Yeah, he said they spit, we gonna hit. Yeah, man. Like it's more coming with this oppressor, and you're gonna have to really choose which side you're on. You know what I mean? Which where you all want to go to next? I believe we good with that one. What story you all want to go to next?
Did they have one on what? Jason Whitlock, huh? I think he jumped out there again, didn't he?
Yeah, hold on. I think I saw that one just now. There's a scrolling. Black people in America.
That's 13.
13?
Come on, sir.
Okay, hold on. Yep, that's it. All right. Is the hold on, let me see how again this video up. One of these machines here is sticking a little bit.
It's a lot of cabinet. If that's giving you problems, I know that that woman in North Korea, that's a heavy one too. That light images, boy.
Yeah, that's no. I think I may have got it. Hold up.
Cut him.
You'll tell me if
On cap off there, play that one. You mind if I get Isaiah 51:22?
no, that's the one. Yeah, you wanna do that one first, or you wanna do the video first?
You can play the video first.
All right,
you know what I mean? They're gonna talk, you know what I mean, he gonna talk, I mean something. I mean that Negroes are done
in America would leave America because there would have been no benefit. But because there have been great benefits, Black people are still here. I said it. It's the truth. Everyone knows it's the truth.
Bear with me. Hold up, Akim. Hold up. I think these machines are starting to tell me what they're trying to tell me what the fuck they're gonna do. Yeah, send them back in the economy.
Black people in America benefited from slavery. That's factual. If it weren't true, all the Black people whining and complaining about being here in America would leave America because there would have been no benefits. But because there have been great benefits, Black people are still here. I said it. It's the truth. Everyone knows it's the truth. Black people.
Man, listen, man. If I could, Jason Whitlock is an idiot and an asshole. And I'm gonna show it's in the Bible. Hold on, give me Be Not Ashamed in the Apocrypha, please. You're an idiot and an asshole. And this is what being in the truth does for you. You in the world, it's like looking in a mirror and raising up one hand and thinking it's the same hand. You get the point? All that mirror does have it inverted.
That's right.
This is the truth. America has benefited from having us in slavery. If they didn't, they would have left America. That's the truth. You have it the other way around because you are in the world. Ecclesiasticus 42:8.
That's it.
Let me get that, please, for Jason Whitlock. Ecclesiasticus 42:8. Whoever have it.
Count.
Right. In fact, start at verse 1.
Count. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 42 and verse 1. Of these things be thou ashamed and accept.
Read it one more time. Read it one more time.
Count. The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 42 and verse 1. Of these things be not thou ashamed and accept no person to sin thereby.
Right? This is what he's saying here. The following things, you should not be ashamed of this. I don't accept somebody who is sinning, thereby. Go ahead.
Count. Of the law of the Most High and his covenant and of judgment to justify the ungodly.
We should never be ashamed of God's law that said don't eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Don't marry the heathen. Don't divorce. Don't be a drug addict or a drug dealer. We should not be ashamed of the Lord's laws and his covenant, his promise with Abraham, and of judgment and to justify the ungodly. We shouldn't be ashamed of judgment, and we shouldn't be ashamed to say that the white man is the devil for how he treats blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, especially the Latino tribe with ICE.
Right.
We should not be ashamed to do that.
That's right.
Give me verse 8.
Can. Verse 8. Be not ashamed to inform the unwise and foolish,
Mm-hmm.
and extreme age that contendeth with those that are young.
Go ahead.
Thus shalt thou be truly learned and approve of all men living.
Yeah, Jason Whitlock is an old fool. He's an old fool, thus saith the Bible. And that's not me being mean to some old head. He's
That's
an
right.
old fool. He's an old idiot. He's
That's right.
unlearned, he's unwise, and extreme in age. He's an idiot. It's like, how could you say slavery benefited black people if not we would have left? Slavery benefited white people. And if not, they would have left. At one time, South Africa benefited Elon Musk's father, and then he left because there was no benefit anymore.
That's
There was
right.
no benefit anymore, so he left. It's the same thing. White people leave when there's no benefit. They stay when there is a benefit. You can't tell the resource to leave. It's like saying cars and the roadways benefit from oil, and oil benefited from cars and the roadway, so oil would leave. Dummy. No, it's the other way around. It's the thing that's using the resource.
Right.
Should leave. Should stop using the resource. Like people do. People stop using the fossil fuels and move to the electric car. They don't ship out the fossil fuel. They just stop using it.
That's
right.
Black people are the reason America has a benefit. Black and Latino people, Jason Whitlock, you dummy. You dumbass. And listen, it's so heavy where even the coon and the Uncle Tom, white America has a use for. Even the coon and the Uncle Tom, white America has a fucking use for. So okay, go ahead, Kat.
No, just going on. What you're saying is heavy because even economists tell you that. They tell you if rich people start to leave America, their money is leaving too. You understand? Like they are nothing here to save for. They are no wealth again to get in this place.
Right.
You understand? Like what you're saying is, is super, duper heavy. And this dummy don't understand that we had what? So how would he explain Black Wall Street? What happened to Black Wall Street? How would he explain Black Wall Street when history shows every time black people try to separate from them, somehow white America comes and destroy it?
That's right.
You understand?
Yep. Yeah.
Black America has come and destroy it and take it over.
Yep.
If I could, what you saying is so heavy. What y'all been saying so heavy. Imagine that. Imagine if 10 to 20 million black people got together and decided we're gonna go for a homeland of our own. And we're gonna move to this homeland, and we're gonna set up an establishment or set up our own country. The entire United Nations wouldn't stop. Would mobilize to stop that.
That's right.
The entire United Nations. You know how we know? Because a small country called Haiti kicked y'all out and decided to run its own country, and y'all never left that alone.
Right.
Y'all never left. Y'all had the United Nations was in Haiti putting cholera in the water. Molesting girls and doing every evil thing they could do in that damn country. France wanted Haiti to pay back double reparations. So you telling me if 20 million black people leave America, the white man ain't gonna come and say, "Hold on, y'all owe us money for all the thing, everything you done left."
That's right.
You done left everything here. You owe us money. Let alone we go and make our own country and it prospers. Oh man.
It's a lot.
White the oppressor would be salivating at the thought of us, having our own nation, so he could just come in there and take everything we create. He, you know what I mean? He wouldn't even wait a week or two before he's already coming in there.
Right.
So don't think like Captain Mashak said, don't think we should leave or they scared of us leaving because ain't we worthless. No, we are what makes this place great. If you want to know, look at Yugoslavia, look at Romania, look at every country where there's only white people, and tell me how great that country is.
That's right.
Right.
So, Locker, can I say one? Give it up. And proof on what Captain Kaposh said is definitely true, because how do you know? You look at the Bible. You look at when we left out of Egypt. The Pharaoh, they said, okay, y'all leave, but then it's like they came and they pursued us all the way to the Red Sea.
God.
They didn't want to let us go. You understand? When they start thinking about all the things that we provided, the Bible says that Israel is the salt of the earth. We would give this earth flavor. We would give this earth all those things that you look at and you say, man, that's cultural. Like that, but there's a traitor in every race, unfortunately.
Yep.
We have them in ours. And I'm convinced that some of these niggas would sell us back into chattel slavery or campaign us back into chattel slavery just to say we got 100% employment. Some of them Negroes would do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like the benefits. And listen to the narrative. This is how you know. You got to know when the narrative comes from the oppressor, even though it looks like you. Even though it's somebody that looks like you, you have to understand when the narrative comes from the oppressor. He didn't even say there was a mutual benefit. Let's just talk about that. He didn't even say, well, you know what, we all been there. Now, keep in mind, when it comes to us having a sense of pride and a sense of our own identity, we have to say we have to be thankful for them. Notice we all the same and we all thankful for each other go out the window. We all benefited from each other's culture. That go out the window. That's how you notice it's an attack.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's an attack. Because the narrative goes from, okay, we ought to love everybody. We all the same with everybody. It's a big melting pot. No, you benefited from slavery.
Right.
You should be thankful.
Yeah.
That's when you know it's an attack. It's not facts. It's an attack to what? To keep you oppressed. To keep you not getting full of yourself. But we all know the narrative is not as true as he say it is. Matter of fact, it's 100% a goddamn lie, like Captain Mashak said. You know what I'm saying? Because they benefited from everything that we did in this place.
That's right.
You got where I'm from, Mississippi. They got a thing on the sign when we say "Welcome to Mississippi, the birthplace of America's music." Really?
Damn.
Because white people didn't sing the blues.
Right. Or rock and roll.
They didn't sing the blues. They didn't sing those old time spirituals talking about swing low, sweet chariot. They didn't sing that. We did. But now I get it. It's America's music because it benefits them.
Right.
You got what I'm saying? So, man, this right here, these people, and this is why you got to know. You got to listen to what they say. When they saying things like this, they are a traitor among us.
Yeah.
But traitors are propped up.
Yeah.
Traitors have a spotlight television show on a sports network talking about politics and about how we should be thankful for chattel slavery. So like I yield.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right on the head, Cap. Get that right on the head. Let's get out that one of the cover stories. Trump birthday bash. You know what I mean?
Come.
Oh shit! Until I lost the story. So boy. Yeah, let's get Trump with 250-year military military anniversary and his birthday all in one.
Come on, come.
Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you.
Kawakan. DC prepares for Trump's military parade with 18 miles of fencing and 175 magnetometers.
What the fuck is a magnetometer?
That said that them thing that could read pick up metal. So he trying to see, I mean, whether somebody trying to come and take his life. You understand?
Why did this could call the thing a metal detector? Why had to be a magnetometer?
like X-Men.
X-Men are a magnetometer.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's wild.
You know what I mean?
Kawakan. As the nation's capital cleans up from the culmination of World Pride this past weekend, focus.
No, hold on. Whoever wrote this article is an asshole. They got to clean up from the pride.
Right.
Like, the pride is so dirty. Oh my gosh. And listen, you know, they had a big issue in DC with these with some of these fences because they had fenced around DuPont Circle. They had put these fences up, these anti-climbing or anti-scaling fences up around DuPont Circle. If you know DC, you know DuPont Circle is like the capital, the epicenter of Sodom.
Yeah, they said that. It's a lie.
Yeah, I mean, it's the epicenter. So, no, this is not DuPont Circle here. This is them putting up the fences around 14th Street. That's the African American Museum in the background. But they had it fenced around all over, brother. And the LGBTQ community complains. They cry to Bowser about why they can't have the DuPont Circle open. It's like a big roundabout, but it's like a huge one, you know, with benches and like a park in the middle. Them sodomites wanted the park open, brother. The problem was there was a lot of stabbings and shootings going on. And the cops were still investigating stuff, and they just put the fences up. They didn't give a damn about no, you know, gay parade or pride or nothing. And Bowser had to step in and tell them take them down because, of course, you know, that's her base. You know, the white liberal, the white LGBTQ, that's her base. So for them to come and say, you know, cleaning up DC after the gay parade, oh boy, I don't know what they're sweeping up on the floor. It was a rough one.
Right.
I mean, go ahead.
Come on. Focus now shifts to a very different massive event. Saturday's military parade to honor the 250th birthday of the Army and the 79th birthday of President Donald Trump. We're preparing for an enormous turnout, said Matt McCool of the Secret Service's Washington field office, who said more than 18 miles of anti-scale fencing would be erected and multiple drones would be in the air. The entire District of Columbia is normally a no-fly zone for drones. Army officials have estimated around 200,000 attendees for the evening military parade, and McCool said he was prepared for hundreds of thousands of people. We have a ton of magnetometers, he said. If 1 million people show up, then we're going to have some lines. A total of 175 magnetometers would be used at security checkpoints, controlling access to the daytime birthday festival and the nighttime parade. Metropolitan Police Department Chief Pamela Smith predicted major impacts to traffic and advised attendees to arrive early and consider foregoing cars for the metro. This is a significant event with a large footprint, she said. We're relying on the public to be an extra set of ears and eyes for us. The military parade has been designated a national special security event, similar to a presidential inauguration or state funeral. Status.
If I could interject right there, you know, they say part of his inspiration for this honor doing this parade was the parade that Putin and China has, where they have that annual military display of all their troops and their weapons, and like that was part of his display. He want to bring some fanfare, some pomp and circumstance back to the military. You know what I mean? So this is just one group of the tanks that they're gonna have coming through. I showed you the other one there on the 18-wheeler before. Like they're coming in here with, it's costing $45 million. That's what they say. I think it's estimated $45 million. Once again, they could afford to do all of this because they're not at war.
That's right.
They could afford to do this because they're not fighting nobody. They're not, they're not really on their feet gun-ho against something. So, of course, you could send troops to, while you doing this, showing off, on the other side of the country, you're going to have troops oppressing Issachar, oppressing Zebulon, ripping children away, terrorizing, fully terrorizing people. It's like they're in their kingdom. They're in their glee with this thing. 100, they're expecting, how much? 500,000 people?
200,000, sir.
200,000 people. They say if 1 million show up, then there'll be some lines, but they're expecting 200,000 people. It's probably going to be more. It's probably going to be more because they're only counting the supporters. They ain't counting the anti-Trumpers. You know what I mean? They ain't counting that shit, who is definitely going to be there. And of course, it's still Pride Month.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's going to be a hot mess in DC on Saturday. Absolute hot mess, brother. Any more on that, Kazan?
Khan, sir, it just talks about the protesters like you were talking about. So like it says, multiple counter protests of varying sizes are planned for Saturday, with the largest being a mass march to the White House. Officials say they are also on alert for signs that the immigration-related clashes between law enforcement and protesters currently roiling Los Angeles would spread. We're paying attention, obviously, to what is happening there. We'll be ready, McCool said. We have a robust plan for civil disobedience.
Yep. It's going to be fanfare. It's going to be a whole show for them. But they're going to be expecting the uprising and the uproars of the people, which could happen. And it could just be them. It could just be their own self to help further whatever their agenda is, whether it's to have occupation in every city, to really have a whole Gestapo force going on.
Yeah, right.
Yes, sir.
Who the hell knows that this place overnight could turn into, Germany.
That's right, Captain.
So,
if I could, Captain.
Please,
what you saying is so right, and Commander General Yahanna prophesied it, and the men above him before, since 1969 prophesied it, man. Like the UPK, we told you that hell was gonna freeze over.
Right.
We told you that. You thought it was a joke. When he started freezing all those federal funds, and then now ICE is out here arresting people and detaining people unlawfully.
Yes, sir.
We told you that it was going to be a cold day in hell. You said it'll be a cold day in hell before that happened. Well, it's happening.
Right.
It's happening now. You understand? You don't have to read George Orwell's 1984. We told you in the Bible that this was going to happen.
Yeah.
You understand? We told you that this is going to happen. So hell then froze over. But nevertheless, it's going to be a hot summer. Like I yield.
So, like, if I could, what you're saying is so heavy because this reminds me of the scripture where Christ talked to the Pharisees, the scribes and Pharisees, and they were questioning him. And Christ told them, you can tell when the sky is red and lowering, you can tell it's about to be a storm. You can tell when this is about to happen because you can look at the sky or you can look at the signs. But you don't see the signs of the times of what's happening right in front of your face. You know what I mean? You don't see that this place is gearing up for World War III.
Right.
That's what this is. This is a sign. This whole the thing with them sending in troops and overriding the governor, that's a sign. That's a sign to the rest of the states that when the president's going to make his call, you get the hell out the damn way.
Mm-hmm.
Because when they do end up going into World War III, which they are preparing, there's a section of the United States government that's what they do. They prepare for this war. They prepare for war with this country. If this country happens, we ran the simulation 1,000, through the chat GPT, we ran physical simulations, all of that, and this is what we got to do and be in position for this and for that. The tariffs.
Right.
What do you think the tariffs was about? The tariffs was about trying to cut off our dependence on other countries so we can try to build the so-called manufacturing base of this country, because when you go into war, all that trade is going to be fodder. All the ships on the sea are going to be what happened with World War II. Germany had the U-boats the U-boats shooting down every vessel that went in and out of England. Had England sea locked, where they trying to send goods and trying to go in and out. U-boat blew it up. So the waters is over with. This is a sign of the times. And the thing that is scary about it is all these things going on. They enacting. Used to talk about martial law. Oh, they're going to enact martial law. With Negro, martial law is here.
That's right.
You can't get no more martial than this.
That's right. Come on, Cap.
You worried about martial law, but this is the thing that is disheartening about it, because the UPK, we getting locked and loaded, and we waking and we ready, and we waking up our brothers and sisters. The thing that's disheartening is our people seeing all this, they don't have nothing to say, and they ain't doing nothing about it.
It's a lot.
Because they all used to, I'm gonna land it here. They all used to act like, well, when this go down, I'm gonna be the first one jumping. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. What's happening right now? You're scared to make a post on Facebook to support Mexican brothers and sisters.
Come on, man.
That's
Look, can I say one thing, Cap? What you said? Oh man, give it up, Cap. Cap, what you saying so heavy? Man, listen. I remember. I know our captains remember this, man. We used to go to camp, and we would be talking, speaking, out there speaking and teaching. And there would be it was a brother one time, he came by the camp. He came up and he said, man, I believe what y'all saying, brother. And I gotta go. But when the revolution start, I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna be with you when it starts. I said, don't worry. I said, brother, come back here now, brother. Come grab a fly. I can't grab a fly right now, bro. I can't. I'm undercover. But when the revolution start, I'm gonna be there with you.
Yep.
Like what you're saying is so crazy, because it's the truth. It's like this is happening. Like this is actually look. I give you an example. Even some of these MAGA people, they would talk like you said, when the government enact martial law, we're gonna take up arms. Well, they already done it, but the problem, they don't see a problem because it's not them.
That's right.
You see. They got all these white conspiracy theories say, well, when the government enact martial law, we gonna defend freedom. They're not doing it because it's the Ishkarite brothers.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care about that. It's happening. It's happening on American soil. But where are you?
Right.
It proves that they don't really believe what they said.
Yeah.
They don't really believe in that. They don't believe we all bleed red. We all the same, because if we all American and we all are God's children, why not you do what you say you would do?
That's right.
And defend freedom.
Right.
You see, that's the thing about, like you say, Cap Kapash and everybody is bringing it out, man. It's so heavy. Boy, we are in those times. We are in those, and you seeing it unfold. It, like the words now, if you take Christianity off the Bible, the words are jumping off the page.
That's right.
Yeah. It's really in 3D. What's the other word? The 4K or 4 whatever that new.
Yep. 4K. Yep.
4K is in 4K now. You know what I'm saying? You can see every pixel of the oppression now. You can zoom in.
That's right.
You understand? You can hit rewind. You can do all these things. And like Cap Kapash was saying, all these programs are running simulations. Even the AI, all these things are running simulations and saying, what is the probability of war? World War III, to be exact. And all of them point to a high probability, over 90%. So what does that tell you? Now, a scientist can make predictions, but a prophet make prophecies.
Right.
That's right.
And that's when we get our prophecies from the Most High Power. Thanks be to Commanding General Yahanna.
That's right.
Once again, the head of the ISUPK. All the naysayers, we don't hear nothing now. We don't hear all that negative, all that y'all was wrong. Because all we got to do is go back. We can go back to Daily Motion. We was putting out videos. You know what I'm saying? So everything that the UPK is saying is coming to pass, man. I mean, it is what it is. So
And if I could, real quick, it's evident because the opposition is dead silent. I remember I need to get back on this. I was in the clubhouse and I was just feeling like I wanted to grill a Christian about what is the Christian religion doing to help the Issacharite brothers when the Bible says, "Thou shalt not vex a stranger."
Right.
Thou shalt not vex a stranger that's in your land. So I just wanted to grill a Christian on it. It was just on my spirit. So I got to some little Christian room with like a little head figure pastor. I said, the Bible, y'all say love your neighbor and y'all love everybody and all this and that. Where is your church and what is your church doing to help support the Mexican brothers and sisters who are Christians also?
Right.
So I grilled him on it. He's like, we got he's lying. We got a big, my church has a huge congregation and this and that. And all he did was jump around it and never answered the question. Because you Christians ain't doing shit. Excuse my language.
That's right.
You Christians, y'all supposed to be God love everybody. It's your neighbor. That's your neighbor. You're supposed to love your neighbor, but your neighbor getting and his kids getting hauled out of the country, and you ain't saying or doing nothing about it.
Come on, Cap. Come on, Cap.
So that's it. It's a lot.
Look, if I could, that's why love got to be tested. That what you're saying is so right. Now, it didn't say that's your neighbor if they got papers. It didn't say that. See, they don't want to deal with that. But once again, they all with the fake stuff. They're not real. God is showing you these people are not there. The Bible say they're hirelings. They run when the wolf come, they flee.
Yeah,
they're not gonna defend the sheep.
Right.
You understand? They're gonna sit there and make up some excuse about this. One thing Black people got to understand this when it comes to religion. All tribes, all the 12 tribes, you can never have heaven with a man you can't have earth with.
That's it.
You can't. God's will gonna be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Yeah,
so you're talking about you gonna have heaven with a man you can't have earth with. If you can't have earth with this man, you damn sure ain't gonna have heaven.
Right.
He'll deport you out of heaven.
Right.
Like I yield.
He doing it right now. Hell.
Yeah.
He doing it right now. America represents, heaven for so many people because America done turned everybody's country into hell.
Right.
Whether it's the IMF or the World Bank or with the drug trade or with their policies, with the mark of the beast, whatever it is, America done turned so many people's countries into absolute hell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he's doing it right now. And in the day in the kingdom again.
Mm-hmm.
And so
and I just want to put on the record last thing. That the world and the Black community and Israel need to note the inactivity of the Christian church.
Yeah.
The inactivity of all these black, so-called blackity black leaders, these blackity black this and blackity black that, the inactivity, the non-vocalization of any thought or guidance or leadership, it is lacking. There is none of it. I was talking to a brother at my slavery in the parking lot. He was talking about he likes the Israelites, but he got a white woman, so he's still on the fence, but he supports. And he was saying, "Oh, you seen what happened with the Mexican brothers? They're standing up. They standing up." I said, "Damn right." And there was another brother in his car, and I could tell he kind of listening from afar, like, what's they talking about the Mexican brothers? They talking about the riot, So I made sure to say something right, what I mean, about that's our people. We already talked about this. We've been teaching this since 1969. Our people, the white man's the devil, blah 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 blah.
Right.
Those you same Christians out there, now you trying to hear what the UPK got to say, but none of where your pastor at? Where Creflo Dollar?
That's right.
Where Eddie Long? Where not Eddie Long, TD Jakes.
TD Jakes.
Where's Joel Osteen?
That's
he
right.
in damn Texas with Mexicans. Where Joel Osteen at? Where's he all smiling all the goddamn time? He all talking about love and this and that. Where the hell is where's his smile and love at?
Come on, Cap.
Why ain't he reaching out to the Mexican community and telling them God's going to protect you, God's going to save you, he ain't saying nothing. All the Christian community is quiet and they don't have shit to say. So we should note that, because this is an important place in history to make sure that we don't let them off the hook.
That's right.
Because they love to skate under the radar in times like this.
So like, just to add to what Captain Kapas saying, right? Now, you Christians, you're better not come and say these Hispanics here illegal and they're breaking the law of the land. You tell your congregation that the laws are done away with.
That's right.
So you can't come now and say, well, these Hispanics here illegal and they're breaking the law.
Right. What law?
What law?
What law?
That's right.
What law? If God law is done away with, these Hispanics are perfectly fine, and you should help them.
Come on, Cap.
See what, brother? That's where we're gonna have to agree to disagree, my brother. Because God called us unto grace and not strife. They're gonna come with the whole pretty talk to just not have to stand up to nothing, and you're seeing it. Like you're not seeing any Christian preacher saying nothing. Where's Lewis? Where's Louis Farrakhan? And I ain't hearing him saying nothing. Nuri Muhammad, that old heathen. I ain't hearing him saying nothing. All the La Iglesia de Jesu Cristo, all the Latino churches. Where's the evangelists? They ain't saying nothing.
Right.
You ain't hearing them saying nothing. They're gonna kick in your church too.
Yeah, that's right, Cap.
They're gonna kick in your church doors too, man.
Salaki, Cap.
Good.
If I could, man, it's so heavy, man. With everything that y'all bringing out, because it makes me think about with that scripture where it say you got to confess Christ. Now is the time for you to confess Christ. I mean, like a lot of Christians used to love to try to come up to the camera. I confess Christ, and I remember the general saying that confession has danger attached to it.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful how he laid it out.
Yep.
Like, you can't just say, I'm gonna set up in church and I'm a God-fearing man. I confess Christ. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. No, that ain't confessing Christ, brother.
Right.
Confessing Christ is standing with your people and standing for truth in times like these.
Right.
That's why the Bible said, if you ashamed to own me before men, I'm gonna be ashamed to own you before my Father.
Right.
Now is the time to confess. Now is the time to make your confession. And you have to also, to confess Christ, is to confess who's the wicked.
That's right.
We're talking about judgment. We're talking about a trial. We're talking about a witness. And that's the Christian church. They don't want to be a witness for righteousness, because they sit up in that church on that jumbotron, and then they pick what scripture they want. But when it comes to the law of the stranger and the law of the least of these, you don't care about that. Why? Because your God Donald Trump said he gonna take your church money. He may go beyond church and state and take my money, that the federal money I'm getting from the government, which is the golden calf for you low life niggas.
That's right.
You want to boycott Target. You ain't said nothing about this. You ain't said nothing about them ripping families apart and them having our brothers and sisters in cages down at by the border, which was a manufactured crisis.
That's right.
You got a problem with that, but that's okay. Just don't get in our way, because we gonna make the confession full.
That's right.
Yeah. And we gonna tell you who you are as well. So like I yield.
Yep.
What's that?
Y'all want to do one more? Let's grab one more good one.
Cut on come, sir.
You know what I mean? Let's grab one more good one, because I know it's high. It's heavily with this ICE and immigration for sure. And we could get another one on topic or off. Hold on.
I think on topic would be good.
I don't want. You just definitely want to spread it around, make sure we cover everything. Listen, I got one for you. Y'all heard what happened in Trinidad recently. So what happened down there? Recently in Trinidad, guys, one of y'all might have a Google story. I don't think it's on this list. Recently in Trinidad, they recently had that election, right? And the person in charge of Trinidad now is a heathen, an East Indian woman, right? Prior to her was a brother. He was a bastard, of course, but he had a few silver linings. One namely is when he stood with Maduro against Trump in Trump's first election. Remember, America been trying to gain Venezuela because of that oil. I think Venezuela has the highest oil deposit in the world, I think after Russia, or the highest in the world, period. Right? And they've been trying to gain Venezuela since Chavez. Maduro came on the scene and kind of continued in the vein of Chavez. So Trinidad is very, very close to Venezuela. I mean, a boat ride. It's very super close. And they've been trying to stage from Trinidad for the longest. So in Trump's first term, they tried to damn near assassinate Maduro. Or even before that, they tried to, get him out. They wanted to overtake their election. They had an election, I think, in 2018 or something like that. And it was Maduro and some heathen called Guaido, right? Maduro is a brother. Guaido is a white man. Trump and them said, Maduro won the election. Trump and them said, nah, F that. We siding with Guaido. He's the one we want. This is the time when the Bolivarian Republic done went through everything. The economy went upside down, and the influx of ashes started going north into the Caribbean, into the Central and North Americas. They pressured the then Prime Minister of Trinidad to turn his back on Maduro. And he said, we have a verbal agreement with our Venezuelan neighbors and a few more countries in South America. We are not turning our backs on them. We're going to honor the agreement with them. And it was against American interests. This is the same time Putin sent 2 fighter jets to land in Venezuela because America was trying to invade from the south, from the Colombian border. Fast forward to today, they had the election. The brother, he stepped down. He ain't running no more. The week of the election, they had the C5, big, huge plane. Remember I showed you all it? Land in Trinidad. She won the election. Then about 2 weeks after that, another C5 plane landed. This past week here, the Venezuelan President Maduro said their military has arrested, I think, 10 Trinidad nationals who were in Venezuela to do terrorist activity, and they got all their weapons. They got them to confess the whole plan, what they was going to do. So, of course, the Trinidad Prime Minister is saying, listen, we ain't got nothing to do with that. We don't know who these 10 individuals are. It could be Maduro could be lying. If you're not fully asleep, by now you're supposed to know America. She done sided with America to destabilize Venezuela. She done sided with America to start some kind of proxy war between Trinidad and Venezuela. So America would have the excuse to put bases and a ton of heavy military artillery and stage from Trinidad, which is easier to get into Caracas from than marching through the jungles in Colombia and then crossing some border. So they're making plays, brother, that, you know, these is real, you know, stuff you would see in a movie.
Yeah.
Stuff you would see in, you know, The Godfather Part 5 or Goodfellas or some shit. You know what I mean? Like they're making plays. Like imagine that. Like they say these Trinidad nationals were there to carry out some terroristic act in Venezuela. Now, I guarantee you, whoever send them, if they even send them, it's nothing, it's not an organic thing. This is orders was passed down. Because anybody who lived in Trinidad would know the Israelites in Trinidad has always had a good relationship with Israelites in Venezuela. The Syrians is the ones who hated Asher.
Yeah.
The Syrians did not want Asher to come across, was abusing Asher on the ground, working them to death, paying them little money because they know Venezuela, you know, the economy is dead. So now that she's in charge, it's shocking, but it's not really surprising, you know, as to what's going on. Like, you mean to tell me all these years, Trinidad never had no problem like that, escalate like that. As soon as you get in power 1 month later, you have some Trinidadians who they say is military trained. So they're trying to say they come from Trinidad's, you know, whatever military we have, who were there to do covert operations in Venezuela.
That's crazy.
Like we have no idea the devil that we actually under. We don't really understand it. We don't get it.
Yeah.
We don't get it.
God. And if I could,
please.
That's why when you read in Isaiah, young man had a question in class this week. He said, "What's the difference between Lucifer, Satan, and the devil in the scriptures?" You go into the book of Isaiah, and it's talking about Lucifer. That's the spirit that's in the oppressor. When it reads, it says, we're going to narrowly look upon him and consider him and say, is this the man that did shake kingdoms? Is this the man that weakens the nations, that weakened the nations? And how does he shake these kingdoms and weaken the nations? Through his military might. And he weakens the nations through his manipulation. In his tactics, through his CIA, through his, you know, these type of things, as so much to pay people from India to send Benjamites into Venezuela on a covert mission.
Yep.
You know, and when you think about that, the oppressor, he's way in the back looking at the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because if anything, you might blame the Benjamite brothers. Then you're going to blame the India, people from India. Then the last one you're going to think about is the United States of America, the oppressor. And this is the type of tactics he runs. Somebody just brought out about the divide and conquer tactics. When they assassinated the president in Haiti, it wasn't a whole bunch of white guys.
Right.
It was some random Colombian, Mexican, anybody's. But the ones who paid for that operation are the oppressors.
That's right.
And our people the only way our people are going to see these things in life is if they understand and they have the spirit of Christ that's in the Israelite School of UPK to understand that the oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
Till you get that type of spirit and vibe on you, you're not going to be able to make sense of all these things. You're not going to be able to make sense of what's going on because you're still stuck at, well, there's some good white people. My white football coach used to bring me sandwiches every Sunday.
Right.
Man. Come on, man. 400 years and we ain't learned a damn thing.
That's it.
So, you know, that's what's going on here. When the Captain Mashak, he sees it from a mile away, you know what I mean? Because he's a man of God. So obviously everybody in Trinidad needs to check in with the Israelite School of UPK so they can make sense of what's going to happen and what's about to happen.
Yeah.
Because, you know, the oppressor ain't taking his eyes off Venezuela.
Right.
You think it's just the oppressor just. I mean, the oppressor he's patient. I mean, I got to give it to him. He's patient. He's
Yeah.
oppressing all people all over the damn world, and he's got patience in all his operations. You know what I mean? He said, he's like, all right, let's pause on Venezuela for 6 months. Let's go destroy this country over here.
Right.
Let's go mess with Puerto Rico for a little while. We'll come back to Venezuela later. And he comes back. So, without the spirit of Christ in ISUBK, we will not understand what's going on in this world.
Yeah,
that's right.
All right. It's like if I could just double down on what you just said. Damn right. Double down on what you just said, Captain Pot. Like the scriptures say, man, Satan, he said he go forth to and fro seeking who he can devour.
That's right.
That's his, the thing about, like you said, you don't have to be at the forefront because he got systems in play.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's one thing that we have failed to do as a people is have system. See, you got to have a system to fight against a system. You understand? And that system comes from the Lord. You understand? The thing is, if you're trying to be an individual and fight against the system, it's not going to happen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. You don't see behind the veil, but the veil now is the Lord going to rip it. He going to rip the veil is being ripped. You're seeing it more and more and more with how the Lord expressed why so many leaks going on.
That's right.
And even the earth is testifying to what time it is. It just had a volcano in Italy and then another one in Japan the same day. Like on the other side of the world, like, what's going on? Is the world about to end? Yes, this world coming to an end. Yes.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Should I go to the volcano? No. You should come to the UPK.
That's right.
You nigga want to go down there and make a sacrifice. Come to the Lord. In the school. You know what I'm saying? You ask the volcano happened. Should I go down there and make a sacrifice? The same thing with that plantation burning down in Louisiana.
Right.
Let's go out here and make a sacrifice to the ancestors. Nigga, please get down to the UPK.
That's right.
Okay? Because once again, I mean, I learned in geometry the best way to approach an angle is with a straight line.
That's right.
And we cutting through all these corners that they trying to do. We coming straight with a straight line. We're not gonna play the semantics. I mean, I don't have time for it. I just don't. You know what I'm saying? Time is short. But definitely everything the UPK is saying is straight spot on, man. Everything Captain Shock. And let me tell you something. This is where you get your geographical history as far as what's going on with all 12 tribes. You ain't gonna get it nowhere else the way you gonna get it in UPK. Captain Shock just gave you a magnifying glass on what's going on with our brothers and sisters in Trinidad, man.
That's right.
Like, and that's how we know it's all connected. That we all the 12 tribes are all connected. Like, if you don't see that by now, you don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Just keep it real. You don't want to use the eyes the Lord gave you or the ears. But rest assured, the ones that do, we see it, man. And we are down by law. Ain't no getting out of it. The Bible says a brother is born for a time of adversity. That's what a brother's born for. And the Lord gave Jacob 12 sons.
That's right.
You understand? And they were born for adversity. They were born to, we can't watch our people fall into decay. That's a law. We ain't supposed to let our brothers fall into decay and not relieve him. God damn it. So if you got a problem with the UPK, I'm going to just keep it real. You got a problem with the Lord. But we don't give a damn. Just don't get in our way. That's all we got to say.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Yes. So like if I may, and just as Captain Kahan bringing out as you say, with that straight line, the prophets was always direct. And if we see the same thing playing off right now again today, because now the UPK direct. So now you actually know where the prophets reside from inside these records, because now we direct, and this truth will always be direct. It won't change for you. It won't change for nobody. The Lord always had a purpose, and his purpose was always to make sure that the truth remain in the earth. This is why the ISUPK here. So that
That's right.
Yeah.
And Cap, just to add to what you're saying too, you know, recently they found in Jamaica the gas shipment of 200 and more guns with about 40,000 rounds of ammunition.
See?
Their election is in September.
Yeah.
You understand? So they're trying to fully disrupt the nation.
It's about to be a
You know what I mean?
bloody summer.
Mhm.
It's about
And
to be a bloody summer.
And did you notice that they found oil off the shores of Jamaica?
Yeah.
So
that
now,
came-
yeah. So who knows? You know what I mean? What you mean? And Esau have a way he goes to both sides,
Yeah.
and make a deal, and whoever gave him the sweeter deal, yeah. I mean, you know when they play out in the streets, who get the sweeter deal?
Yeah.
Like, come September, you'll know.
It's smart. It's smart to not back any horse and to back them both.
Yeah.
And whoever is the one, you know, you're siding with one publicly and siding one privately, and whoever wins, you know, you still have the advantage.
Yeah.
Like he knows, he understands the art of survival and war, and when I say war in terms of how it is carnally, he understands it. And that's what he doing in Trinidad. Trinidad doesn't have a army or a military. It has a defense force, which is way less than numbers. Trinidad has a coast guard and not a navy. I think Venezuelan army is ranked 50th in the world or something like that. You could look it up and see. Whatever disturbance you're trying to make, Trinidad is going to end up on the worst end of it. And that would be America's, say, well, we'll intervene. It's like it's creating Russia and Ukraine, if you really want to understand it.
Yeah.
It's creating Russia and Ukraine. It's just Trinidad is not a part of Venezuela's government, but the proximity is so close, and there's oil in Venezuela. And America wants the oil. They want Maduro gone. They want the oil. And brother, they're willing to go to any lengths to get it. They're willing to go to any lengths to get it. And that Maduro, he done seen it. And I wouldn't, listen, if there is Benjamite brothers who went over there to carry out some act, I guarantee you they ain't even had to interrogate them to confess. They probably tell them so that they listen, man. They said over here, things hard in Trinidad. They give my family, 50,000 each. And then Venezuelans is like, listen, man, we know how things is, man. Y'all come here, just talk to Maduro. Don't even worry about it. I wouldn't be surprised if everybody doesn't understand what it is going on. Because before, when the last leader was there, when he said he would not turn his back against Maduro, that woman, the East Indian, she said, don't worry with the black man. I'll side with America and we'll do whatever you want us to do. And she was the opposition leader. So since then, she's been dog whistling America.
Yeah.
Right.
So now that she's in power, let them come all the way in. Let them come all the way in. Like, this is a time in the earth where, they're moving and shaking. America gobbling up their backyard like Russia gobbling up his backyard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not a time to play. This here is, this is for all the marbles. This is for all the chips. We at a time where you ought to come in, come find the truth, come find the Israelite School of UPK under Commander General Yahanna. Commander General Yahanna, give me a hand. Always try to set something up and build something together to get this nation up out the ground. Come find Commander General Yahanna and find your place to help build your kingdom and build your nation. Everybody else have one. You need to have yours. You know what I mean? ISUPK.com, pay your tithes. Join Commander General Yahanna every Monday night right here on this channel, The Real General Yahanna on YouTube. You can come check him out 9 p.m. every Monday night. You'll chime in, drop him something, drop him a message, drop him an email, leave some comments in the chat, ask the questions, leave the encouragement, everything. Drop your tithes in too. But this time here, we at the end. We all the way at the end. It's only going to get worse from here. The Bible says this is the beginning of sorrows. The end is not yet. It's just the beginning of sorrows. So, You know, again, big up the usual suspects who always inside. Captain 9-5 holding it down North Carolina, all the Carolinas. Big up Captain Cajon holding down the South. You know what I mean? Atlanta, Mississippi, all over. Captain Kapash, Mr. International himself, passport and stamp. You know, in and out. The Officer Kazaka Ahmad representing Alaska tonight, man. And also Officer Sawapiala holding it down there for the tribe of Benjamin and Trinidad, man. We're gonna be back next week, Lord along. Whether Lord along, that's what I had to say. That's the week out. We might see the week. So with that, I like to say Yashin thumb to all the brothers, Yashin and we're gonna be out. Shalom.
Shalom.
Yay-Z, you know the chop. Ayazahab, badness no sir. Let me tell you how the badness steer. Dopey bat fly when the clock display. Tell a boy say no try box this face. Back switch face. You know how your blood clot casket stay, boy. You must see one Baptist prayer. When the map stick raise that big straight. Shot misplaced. The key them in your head stop misbehave. Crack his face. The key never tell us so we lock this place. Which locksmith anyway watch this space. War with them bunny like plastic plate. Hey, we don't play around. When you see the UPK around, we bring the fucking AK around. AR-15s and AR rounds. We don't play around. When you see the UPK around, we bring the fucking AK around. AR-15s and AR rounds. We no take drape up, we no take beat up, we no stay up. And when the next day come, we no change up. My heart them bad as them wake up. Take care boss boy, head top shake up. So tell a pussy hold down, violate us. No care where you status, where you take up. Every man a killer till miss a dead face you straight up. Great stuff, one Westling bigger than NATO. Man we boss it to NATO. Only man we afraid of, that are the creator, the maker. Hey, we don't play around. When you see the UPK around, we bring the fucking AK around. AR-15s and AR rounds. We don't play around. When you see the UPK around, we bring the fucking AK around. AR-15 and AR rounds. AR-15s and AR rounds. AR-15s and let me tell you how the badness steer. Dopey bat fly when the clock display. Tell a boy say no try box this face. Back switch face. You know how your blood clot casket stay, boy. You must see one Baptist prayer. When the map stick raise that lick straight. Shot misplaced. The teeth them in your head stop misbehave. Crack his face. The key never tell us so we lock this place. Which locksmith anyway watch this space. War with them bunny like plastic plate. We don't play around. When you see the UPK around, we bring the fucking AK around. AR-15s and AR